mateys. Welcome to Fingering the Page.
Ahoy, I'm Andy.
Ahoy, I'm Katie. We're here to talk about books that touched us.
In our hearts.
And sometimes somewhere else, sir. Just in time for Mother's Day, we're talking about a typical romance trope. The Halloween party hookup.
Oh, we're just going to stop doing the voice. Okay.
It hurts my throat.
It's a classic. People hooking up, people in costume, not just letting it all hang out. All that sex ed knowledge, good day to you, sir. We don't need it. We've got costumes to protect us. So you're just hooking up, or if you want, you could also stand in a corner and just eat dip, which was always my go-to move, So
It's a good party move. My go-to party move is just cleaning while the party is still happening, which is really appreciative by the host and very not appreciated by every guest in attendance.
Agreed.
Andy, are you for or against people dressing up in costume to get laid?
I'm okay as long as the costumes and the storyline make sense. If you're dressed as Luke Skywalker, you don't get to bang Snow White. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. The multiverses don't add up.
No, not at all.
Who does Luke get to sleep with?
Leia.
They're siblings.
They're what?
Did you not see the full trilogy?
I only saw the first movie.
What?
My dad said I wasn't old enough for the other two. I'd watch them later.
How old were you?
I'm 29.
You should watch the rest. Personally, I do love getting dressed up for Halloween. It's the one...
I'm sorry, real quick. Are they really siblings, though?
They're siblings.
Like, is it like a Jasper situation where
It's
it's like
not
they
a
adopted it? No?
It's not a Jasper situation. They're full blood.
Well, there goes most of my fan fiction right there.
Yeah.
That would explain the creeps in the comments.
Yeah. You should really just sit down and watch the rest.
Okay. Sorry.
My brother loves them.
Yeah? All right.
Personally, I do love getting dressed up for Halloween. It's the one night a year that I can blame not getting laid on my costume and not my STDs.
Speaking of STDs, pirates.
Yes. This book has some pirate stuff in it.
Oh my
If
gosh.
you like Pirates of the Caribbean,
Or Pirates of the Caribbean 2, Dead Man's Chest.
or Pirates of the Caribbean at the World's End,
Or Pirates of the Caribbean 4 on Stranger Tides.
or, if you can believe it, Pirates of the Caribbean 5, Dead Men Tell No Tales,
Then you probably won't like this book,
you
honestly.
should skip it.
Yeah.
You should skip it. They're not remotely the same.
No.
But if you do just a couple scenes, maybe 4-6 pages, about two adults dressed as pirates.
Right.
And then they're each joking about their own separate limb differences.
Yeah.
And that's why they dressed up as pirates.
Yeah.
And then they hook up at their friend's house, get pregnant, fall in love, work at a coffee shop, make a dream camp, obsess over math, quit their jobs. You're gonna love Out on a Limb.
Guys, Katie's got a book report for us. Katie, can you tell us the summary of the book?
Well, I spent a little more time on the title, on the cover.
Yeah, you did.
So I was up till midnight doing it. I wanted to get sequence, but Michael's was closed.
Boo.
But yes, okay. Let's start with the summary.
Oh, did we use the same poster board?
I snuck into your house.
Oh, man.
I was out of poster board. Michael's was closed.
My wife hates that. That's fine.
Don't tell her. Hazel, don't watch this. Okay. Summary. This is basically what happens. Bo, a financial analyst, puts his plank into Wynn's ship. Are you allergic to good writing?
Yeah, I am.
And he ends up with life's bounty, a.k.a. a bibbe.
Oh, wow.
Then Wynn, a lifeguard and barista, two very high-paying jobs, starts living in a life of luxury.
Yeah.
At some point, Bo's hot dad visits, and there is no three-way between the three of them, so get your hopes down. And then Wynn gets an angel investor for her dream camp. And at some point throughout this whole thing, she has a baby.
Yeah.
That's kind of what happens.
Win-win.
Mm-hmm.
Win-one?
Win-one.
Yeah. If you wanted to further summarize that summary, how would you do it? Like a beginning, middle, and end?
Okay, so like if anyone in the audience is in the 3 to 5 years age range.
Yeah.
Beginning, pirate sex. Middle, Win learns about nerd culture and budgeting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
End, gender role reversal.
Yep.
We'll get into what that means in a little.
It's good stuff. Did you have like a favorite character or anything, Katie?
I did. Sarah, who is Win's best friend, is a freaking icon. She's jobless. She is horny.
Mm-hmm.
She is married.
Yeah.
And she is just horny all the time.
All
and
the
she's
time.
the party friend.
Yeah.
She's the freest woman I have ever read. I want her life. I would love to not have to work for my nut,
Mm-hmm.
as they say.
Yeah.
And just have my rich husband let me plan. Actually, she does plan a lot of parties. I do not like doing that. So I would say no to that.
Yeah.
But other than that, she's living large, man.
Did you have any facts or opinions you'd like to share from the book?
Yes. One fact I learned from this book is that Bo is a Republican. He is incredibly wealthy.
Yeah.
Incredibly wealthy.
Right.
He not only invests $100,000 into her new business at one point,
Yeah.
but he also redoes his entire bathroom. And he adds a garden.
Whoa.
He landscapes a full garden in the back for her. In a greenhouse? Am I making that part up? It feels like it's in that wheelhouse. So yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that this guy's sitting pretty up there in that 1%.
For any of you who are taking offense, by the way, he's a Canadian Republican, so it's Republican in Canada. I don't know what that's called exactly, but like,
I mean, no offense by Republican, by the way.
No.
My dad is a Republican. He's a guy. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Confusing, like values, but whatever.
Yeah.
Don't we all?
He's like, everybody wants a handout. Also, he works at a food kitchen.
Yeah.
It's like, you're handing out.
Mm-hmm, yeah. He's
What do you
like,
think you're doing?
can't have a handout unless I'm giving it to you.
Yeah. He's like, I decide what you get handed out.
That's the thing.
Do you like soup?
It's control.
Yeah.
And I also, the opposite of a fact, opinion. I wrote one of those down too. I do think Win should have boned. No, I'll take that back. I think Win should have kissed Bo's dad.
Okay, just kiss, not bone.
Not boned. I'm gonna take I think there's a lot of talk about how Win is like really attracted to Bo's dad and how attractive Bo's dad is. And like if you're thinking about it that much, you're curious as hell.
Right.
Like just go for it. Just see what happens.
By the way, if those of you who are wondering, like, why don't they just say Bo's dad's name? It's French and it's kind of hard to pronounce, so we're just gonna call him Bo's dad.
Exactly. Something like that.
For all I know, it's sommelier. Or something like that.
Baguette.
And,
yeah. So that's my opinion. I think there could have been at least like if not a full chapter, like a paragraph talking about her imagining what it would be like, and if he kissed just like Bo.
Yeah.
We know you're wondering.
Yeah. One more question for you. Did you have like a vocabulary word that you particularly liked from this book?
Yeah, I learned a new word. It's a compound word. It is a verb, I believe. Cancer guilted.
Oh, okay. How would you use that in a sentence?
My friend cancer guilted me into going to a bread rally in downtown Los Angeles. She has cancer. She wanted to go protest the gluten-free bread movement. I didn't want to, but she has cancer. So it's like, is this the last time I'm going to be hanging out with her? Like,
True.
I don't know. So I went. Nothing happened.
The rally didn't happen, or you didn't go? Or?
No, like we went, but like nothing happened because of it.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
That's my book report.
I'm going to say A-.
Honestly, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I was aiming for a B+, so that I over.
No. The cancer guilt, I'm feeling it. So
yeah,
you get an A- for
but
sure.
we can't tell my dad about the A- because he will be very upset.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Mm-hmm. It's A+ or die.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking about all the times I didn't get an A+.
Yeah. I'm thinking of all the times I once got an A. Let's get into what we liked and what we didn't about this book.
In a segment we like to call What We Liked and What We Didn't about this book.
Let's start with what we liked about this book.
The amount of plot. Holy scamoli.
Oh my gosh.
We got one. We got one, guys.
There was a lot of plot in this book. There was sordid past, far-flung dreams, French-Canadian dads, and yes, there's Caleb's secret hobby.
Doxing.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Right. Different D. The 3 Ds. Dungeons, Dragons, Doxing.
No Katie.
I feel like it would be fun.
I mean...
Anyways, lots of promises of sex, which they don't deliver on until later in the book.
As two people who hate when people just lie around naked, we love this. It almost got to a point where we were like, wait, plot's cool, but what about the sex?
Check out our new merch. You can buy them in packs of 50. Overall, we loved how much insight there was into the fact that both of these characters had disabilities. One had a developmentally challenged hand, and the other lost their leg to cancer. And there was a lot of insight into what that feels like and what those feelings are.
Yeah.
It was very, very refreshing.
No, it's definitely something different. The last time I read a book even close to this was Of Mice and Men.
These books are absolutely nothing alike.
They're both set during the Great Depression.
No, Bo was just depressed. You're mixing an era with feelings.
Oh.
Bo was depressed because his mom killed herself. Whoopsies.
Yeah.
And his ex-fiance left him when he got the cancer diagnosis, which, what a fucking move by her. And Wynn does end up making him confront his fear of geese, which brings up a lot more feelings.
Yeah. Well, again, there's farm animals in this. Geese. Geese are in Of Mice and Men. Also, I would say Bo is the Lenny in this situation. He likes soft things, namely Wynn's breasts, but still.
True. He's not as dangerous as Lenny, though.
Right.
He has a little bit more control over his strength.
For
you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But something we didn't like about Bo, which I did reference a little bit earlier, is that Bo loves money, fine, but is maybe too perfect. Okay? He's a little too perfect for us. I'm gonna give you guys some examples. All right. So on page 174, I wrote the entire page, Lord in Heaven. He says, this is actually really long, but it's really, it's really, I said, this is too perfect. This is too perfect. It's making me mad.
Having read this book, I will agree with Katie. There's a lot of moments where you're like, who is this person? Does he have any flaws?
He has no flaws. And like,
at one point he says, fuck yeah, let's do some math.
Like, what?
Nobody's saying that.
That's like the hottest thing I've ever heard. And
I have a brother who teaches math. He's never once said that.
On page 230, he says, he holds out his hand. Oops. Come dance with me. I said, stop!
Yeah.
The last time someone asked me to dance was when I was eating at Applebee's, and it was just a waiter who was having an episode, and I was like, dude, I can't do this with you right now. He was like, don't you hear the sounds of the utensils from the, I was like, can I get my check, please? And then, okay, on page 328, he goes, I mean that it feels like my heart is on the outside of my body. And I miss you so much, even when you're just a few feet away. I think about you every second of the day and struggle to think of much else. I meant what I said that first night. You are maddening. I said, is this real? Does this happen? What? Have I been single for so long that the vernacular has changed? I don't know. Do you guys do this?
I think it's from that football game, Maddening 24. They have
Madden 24.
Oh, is it Madden 24?
It's it's Madden.
Is that a guy?
It's a guy.
I just assumed that they like that old guy. They're like, this guy is cool. Maddening 24. I'm like, all right.
No, but I think that would be a great game to develop. I just don't know, like, he says he thinks about her every second of the day and struggles to think of much else while also maintaining this very high-paying job.
Yeah.
So what is it?
I know some of you guys are like thinking like, oh, Katie's just closed her heart off to love. She doesn't know what it's like to be in love. I'm going to go one further with this. Bo knows how to braid hair, which made me laugh a lot. Like, he's braiding her hair, and it made me automatically just assume that he was giving her dreadlocks.
I tried to give Andy dreadlocks for his birthday. I thought it'd be like a fun surprise, but it did not come out that good.
No. but we tried it.
It was probably the hat was getting in the way.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyways, what else didn't we like?
I didn't like the fact that Bo is my dad's name.
Mm.
It just made me very uncomfortable with how many times Wynn said Bo while they were in bed together.
It's
I
tough.
was like, you're not my mom. Please stop.
Let's take a moment of silence for Andy's dad. We also didn't like the amount of time that Wynn lost when Bo forced her to watch the Fellowship of the Ring extended cut edition on a school night. Are you kidding me? Straight to jail. Straight to freaking jail.
Straight to jail. Listen, guys, I've done a lot of bad things in my life. I have never once made a girlfriend, partner, spouse, sibling ever sit through a 4-hour movie with me. Ever.
I wouldn't even show my worst enemies. Absolutely not. I wouldn't put them through that. My high school boyfriend made me do that, and then he had the gall to cheat on me with a Legolas doll.
You can sue him.
I'm gonna. Now, if you read this delightful book, it might seem a little too lucky that Wynn, a lifeguard and barista, happens to get knocked up by a financial analyst with buttloads of money. Like we said before, he has the ability to invest $100,000 into a dream camp.
Yep.
What is he, Mark Cuban? Number 2, he also adds a whole new bathroom and a giant garden for her in the backyard, which is freaking adorable. But man, she lucked out.
Right? The guy has an ice dispenser.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I can't believe I didn't say that first.
Yeah, that's insane. Now, listen. What you guys don't know is that Hannah Bonam-Young had 2 earlier drafts for this. And in those drafts, Wynn's situation was not so lucky. It was a little more down to earth, I would guess you'd say.
A little more gritty, a little bit more middle of America.
Yeah, like more realistic. But, of course, the publishers were like, people want a fantasy. They want, like, a nice thing to happen. But we still think it'd be cool just to, like, let you know that there were 2 other novels.
Yeah, and worth talking about. I think it's good to know what could have happened. What we could have been reading. Do we want these type of novels moving forward?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So in this segment, we're going to dive into that. And we are calling this
The Win-Lose Situation. The win-lose situation.
The win or lose. The win-lose situation.
The win-lose situation.
We've
had a lot of arguments about what the segment should be called, and
it's basically what the bad Win got screwed.
Yeah.
The other Win did not get a good job. Okay, so anyways,
the win-lose situation. Did we get it this time?
You got it.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna try anymore. The loser wins.
This is brought to you by a Planned Parenthood knockoff called Whoops, I'm a Mom.
Whoops, I'm a Mom.
Whoops, I'm a Mom.
That'll also be released on our Spotify channel. Full
Look
track.
forward to it.
First up, the first guy that she got knocked up with is Trey.
Yeah.
From the President's Day bash, her BFF Sarah threw.
Yeah. Wynn tried to hook up with him at Sarah's place too, but Sarah was like, hold on, let me do my Sarah character real quick.
Yeah.
Do we think Sarah's Australian?
I think Sarah could be Australian.
Yeah, why not? Sarah's an Australian name.
She's super vibey.
Yeah.
Super chill.
Oi, get that piece of shit off my lawn. That's what Sarah said. So they did it in Wynn's car.
Trey was a server at the local Chili's knockoff called Habaneros.
For the last 12 years, Trey's been saying, I'm going to go after the manager position.
Heard it once, you heard it 100 times.
Yeah, but he's awful. He's a lot like Carmy from The Bear, if Carmy never went to culinary school and instead stuck to what he knew best, bribing health inspectors to look the other way by offering them free skateboard lessons down by the river.
Trey's a sneaky one. Trey often speaks of his dream to start a skateboarding/reggae festival called Firefest. Now, Trey has no idea that there's an actual Firefest that had 2 documentaries made about him. He thinks documentaries are for people who like to read.
Now, despite all of this, Wynn wanted to have Trey's baby until the day she went to Habaneros to tell him she was pregnant and he reacted poorly.
Yeah, he immediately asked how much money the baby could bring in and if it had any connections to any angel investors for his fire festival.
Then one of the tables asked for the check, and he took their credit card from their hands and just spread it right out the door. Never to be seen at Habaneros again.
Not wanting her child to grow up without a dad,
Or Trey.
she decided to make a trip to whoops, I'm a mom.
And thus concludes Wynn's first time getting pregnant at Sarah's.
Now, the second draft, the publishers were like, okay, well, this is too, we don't like this Trey character.
No.
Not at all. Can you give us something else?
Do you have a less bleak ending?
The next draft, it's at Sarah's book party.
Yep.
You guessed it. She gets got by Heathcliff from Wuthering Heights.
Yep. Not a guy dressed like Heathcliff. Actual Heathcliff from Wuthering Heights.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a time travel element in this draft.
Yeah, it's a little different. It's like The Outlier or whatever.
Outlander.
Outlander.
It is kind of like Malcolm Gladwell's Outliers mixed with Outlander.
Yeah.
Mixed.
He did 10,000 hours, and as a result is now in the future. This Heathcliff works at an actual Chili's, which is kind of a step up, you know?
Very upward mobility from when we last met Heathcliff.
Right.
And once Heathcliff finds out he's going to be a dad, he does light the restaurant on fire. So,
yeah.
Can we say, boy boss?
For sure. He takes responsibility. Listen, young men, watch this guy. He's the guy to follow along with, all right? He knows what he's doing.
He has a plan. That's what I'm saying.
He's getting that insurance money, and he's going to use it to do something nice for the family.
Exactly. Unfortunately, once he finds out about Wynn's horrible ex-boyfriend, Jack, he promises to murder him, which, while Wynn sort of likes how dedicated he is to her, his need for vengeance becomes all-consuming.
Which, I mean, good for him, you know? She didn't even ask. He was just like, no, I'm going to do it. And she was like, you don't need to. He's like, no, I'm in. Let's do this.
And he like, showed her all the different weapons he bought, and she was like, oh, God, in the house?
Yeah.
Do you have a safe for this? And he's like, I don't need a safe.
Yeah. Unfortunately, his need for vengeance becomes all-consuming, and as a result, he actually prematurely names their child Counterblow.
Which sounds like a new Tom Cruise movie that I would for sure see while talking shit about to my more smart friends.
Or a kitchen skill that I would try to do without having any of the necessary utilities to do so.
Or a video game where young boys learn how to talk to hookers properly.
Or something that horrible guy at your work always says. He's like, yeah, I counterblew my wife last night.
Yeah, and then you'd be like, moving on to the next status item. Anyways, this happens on day 2 of their relationship. Wynn actually goes through with the pregnancy in this draft and puts the kid up for adoption. Why? Because she's always wanted to see an Annie too, and Hollywood has not delivered. Quibi bought it.
Oh, did they? Looking forward to it then. Well, that'll do it for episode 8 of Figuring the Page.
Is it? I think it's 9.
I don't know. In the script it says 8.
I think it's wrong. Who wrote this?
Oof, us.
Oh,
sadly.
I shouldn't get them in trouble.
Yeah. Well, listen, guys, that'll do it for episode 9 of Fingering the Page.
Keep your hands above the covers.
Or don't.
And until next time, keep
reading.